right, let me see if this actually works now. Please, 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 please.
Do you just want to have like the Silent Hill presentation playing in like the background or something with our faces, or something like relevant? I guess
There we
like.
go. It's up. Okay, I think it's working. I want to make sure. Hey, talk for me.
Yo,
Yep,
it's
everything's
JayDubbs
good.
here with the Proper Gaming Talk Show, and we got Sandsology. We're going to be doing a live stream, and how's that?
Good. We're streaming, so Hi, how you doing, guys?
We're doing this.
The
Okay.
thing is, YouTube doesn't allow us to just test live streams anymore.
No, it doesn't.
As soon as you
Yeah,
start streaming, it
you
starts
just start
streaming on
streaming.
YouTube. As soon as you start streaming on OBS, it starts streaming on YouTube. So you get to sit through 3 minutes of us trying to figure out if this works or not.
Yeah, because that's what happened when I was streaming the Plague Tale. Yeah, you couldn't test it. I was like, "Where's the test button?" They're like, "Oh,
Yeah.
let's go." And I had to restart my stream 3 times just to
Dude,
make
I
sure
know
everything was fine.
it sucks. It's so annoying.
And then it sucks because like it records it and automatically uploads it as a video, so then you gotta go
I
back and
know.
delete
It's
it.
like,
I was like, how do I delete these videos from my channel?
it is very annoying. I'll give you that. It is extremely annoying. Let me just make sure live. I want to make sure. Why is it not going? Where is my live? Huh? Digital diving. Okay, it's on. DDI Deep Ripper Gaming Dick Shoe. You know what? Why isn't that coming through? Let me close that and that. I'm looking on the app to make sure it's on, but I don't freaking see it, and I don't know why. Where is it? Hello?
I mean, make this info mature because I'm gonna be taking some sneak hits.
I love how you just say that. It's just like, yep. Scooby Doo. I don't care about you. Okay, yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
I'll confess that you make me feel like home when my heart feels full. My grandma Delia, she always told me, she's like, Mijo, Ortiz, you better not marry a girl.
Okay, we are good to go. What's up, dudes and dudettes and other people? This is going to be a drinky drink and smoke live stream.
Drink smoke live stream. I like
Drinky
that.
drink,
That's
smoke
very
smoke.
dope.
Drinky drink, smoke smoke.
um,
I am going to share the stream really quick on every single platform on demand, aka Facebook and Twitter.
can you see the comment section? Because I can't only have one monitor.
I can't see them. Yeah, I have two.
Oh, that's dope. That's so dope. This is why you're meant to be the streaming one. I can do the reviews for the channel, you do the streams, and then KJ just does
he just pops in from day to day.
Comedic background.
Pretty much. I'm really bummed that he's not here. And guys, the reason we're doing this live stream is because OBS sucks. Like, really sucks. And we recorded not one, but 2 videos yesterday. And it decided to switch the audio input for my mic. So, it didn't pick up any of my voice. Picked up these guys, but nothing from me. So that was great. That was awesome.
The truth is, Patrick was too lazy to double check his settings before we started, but
Dude,
it's okay. It happens.
It's not even just with this; it's with work.
No, it's fine. Yeah.
Something at work, I'll just be like, I'll be going through all the stuff I have to do, and then I'll forget to mention what I did on like our. Ooh, there's my pizza. I will be right back.
It's fine. I want your food too. It's fine.
Entertain them.
Entertain them. Should I show them my nipples? Is that what we're going to do to entertain till you come back? Oh man, look at this right here. Anyway, no, yeah, I've been having a pretty great week actually. We had 2 game releases this week that I really cared about, which was Plague Tale Requiem on Tuesday and Gotham Knights on today. Actually, well, yesterday if you got a digital version. I mean, yesterday if you got the disc version. But oh my god, it's funny because I love both games actually. Well, I don't know if I love Gotham Knights yet. I'm still playing it, but like, yo, this joint hit different. This joint hit so different, and we're gonna talk about it once Pat gets back. But this joint hit different, and it's not in a bad way at all. It really isn't, and I can put it in the best terms I can. But like as a everyone, like I'm not a casual gamer. I'm more of a, like a hardcore, as somebody that's like into games that isn't paid or sponsored to say good things about games. I can tell you that this game does actually hit. It's really dope. And yeah, we're going to talk about it. So once Pat gets his pizza, oh, there he is. Hey, give me some pizza, bitch. Give me some pizza, bitch. Mail that to me. I want some.
Nothing
He's not gonna do
screams
it.
casual like having a
He's not
pizza.
gonna do it.
Nothing screams casual like having a pizza delivered midstream.
Yeah,
All right.
man, that's just life, honestly. Like people that shoot for 12 hours, they do that be right back thing.
Yo.
Nah, man, we just keep it live. We just keep it live.
I
It's
mean, what the
fine.
hell else are you gonna do? Like, are you really gonna like stop the stream to go get food or go take a piss break or something like that? No, you're gonna keep on going for the fans. I just ran
For the fans.
downstairs.
For the only fans.
For the OnlyFans. For the OnlyFans. I got pizza for the.
I pretty much was just talking about, like, I've been having a pretty good week this week. Like, I got 2 big game releases, and Plague Requiem hits on all cylinders, my guys.
I was about to say I got pizza from the best pizza place in the city, and then they do fucking this to my pizza.
Oh man, that does not look great.
I mean, I'm gonna eat it. I'm not gonna.
But it's pizza, right? All right, exactly. It's
I'll
pizza.
call later and be like, "Hey, I'm gonna eat my pizza in a ball."
No, you gotta call them now, or else they'll just think it's fake or lazy or uninspired or both.
Kitty cat, I need you to get down, please. I'm sorry. Oop. I guess he was carrying it and it just slid. I mean, I'm still gonna
It's probably. I mean, it's the hazards of delivery drivers, you
I'm
know.
still gonna eat it because it's pizza and fuck it.
Yeah, it probably tastes good anyway.
Oh fuck yeah! It's House of Pizza. It's gonna taste fucking amazing.
Oh yes, whole pie. I fucking love whole pie.
Is the absolute best, even when they do this shit. Anyways, guys, to our 0 viewers currently, but we are here to actually talk about a couple things. Like I said, we recorded 2 videos yesterday, and we are going to upload them. We talked about Gotham Knights, and then we also talked about Silent Hill 2 Remake. And you know what? This works out because now we can also talk about the Resident Evil 4 remake that just got announced today. So, I mean, it works out for the best, right?
It got announced a while ago. Didn't we have like a teaser trailer from the PlayStation Showcase? Probably like the last one they did.
I don't think so. Could be
We did get confirmation that Resident Evil 4 remake was coming before, because it was in the same one with, I think, Street Fighter 6.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I forget. There's too many game shows. We talked about
But
that.
yeah, no, yeah, it is a lot of game shows.
Too many game
but
shows, my guy.
It's just I just think like from this week on, gaming is gonna be going off on 4 cylinders until
It
February, I
fucking
would
is.
say.
It fucking is. But,
Yeah.
So I wanted to bring up these 2 remakes again because something that KJ said a couple times in the last video that we recorded yesterday and a couple videos before. He was like, "What's with all the survival horror games that we've been getting announced and everything?" And yeah, there've been a ton of survival horror games being announced just this year. However, I think the reason we're getting so many now is because survival horror has been kind of quiet over the past few years. Like, we really haven't had a whole lot of survival horror games come out in the past couple of years. And with the exception of, like, I guess you can count Last of Us Part 2 as a survival horror, kind of.
I would just that would be like survival adventure. Yeah. I think the last one we had was really like the Evil Within 2. Or like Outcast, or was it Outcast 2 or Outlast 2? Mm-hmm. Outlast 2. Mm-hmm. So it's just, I think horror is such a delicate genre on all cylinders, just because it's very difficult to get it right. But when you do get it right, it feels like it's common sense. Where
I
it's just
agree.
like,
I agree.
obviously you will put something there, or you have tension here, or you have the character do certain things, but like some people just, it's like they can't get the formula right, so
It's a very hard genre because it has such like dedicated fans. So
yeah.
if you put out a survival horror game, it has to be incredible, especially if it's AAA. Indie, there's a shit ton of like indie horror games and stuff like that. So and they're
But
hit or miss.
those actually do get kind of scary, or
Oh
at
yeah,
least eerie.
yeah,
A
exactly.
lot of times they know what they're doing. When it comes to like survival horror, and it's so weird. But and also, I was gonna say that for some, depending on what kind of engine you're developing on and what kind of animation and aesthetic and art style you're doing, it can depend on graphics. Like also like helping get the realism going. Where it's funny because like when you talk, even when you talk movies and games, like as you've seen, like you watch like something from the 1980s, or watch Hellraiser or watch something like that. It's just like it can be. It actually surprisingly still can be kind of scary with what they use for depictions, but like you kind of get that like maybe like the late 90s, early 2000s was like really the sweet spot,
Oh yeah.
where like not only innovation with technology but also innovation with creative direction for horror games was kind of like booming, and now they're trying
Oh,
to
I agree.
recreate
I
that.
agree.
They're trying to recreate it, and it's just you got a Chucky series, you got a Scream
Yeah,
series, you
right.
got
Like I saw the
it's just
Chucky
like
series. I'm like, why? I mean, I get it. They're just trying to, cash in on the Chucky IP, which it's fine. I get it. It makes sense. It's a huge freaking property. So why not milk that shit? They've been milking
something
Halloween, and
some
that last movie
uh,
was absolute garbage. Don't go see it.
yeah, don't go see that. And it's funny because there was something that a game reviewer said about Alien Isolation as one
Oh
of his
God.
gripes, where it's just like when you see your alien, like how you do horror, like when you see your antagonist too much and he's supposed to be the scary thing you
Yeah.
don't want to see, it kind of dips like the
Oh, I
scare factor,
100% agree. I
you
100% agree.
know.
Like,
And
okay,
so
so
I think
there's a game that just came out. My cat's going crazy again. Game that came out like a couple weeks ago or so. It's called The Complex. It's a backrooms spin type of indie game, right? The reason, and I haven't played this, but I've seen both Markiplier and Jacksepticeye do a huge playthrough of it. Really, really
Mhm,
cool, right? It's a really cool concept. The backrooms in general is a really, really cool concept. If you don't know what it
mhm.
is, it's basically like this liminal space that people can just fall into, like they fall through reality and land in the backrooms. And
Oh,
there's like, in some iterations, there's creatures that some people think are just the people that got lost in the back rooms, and
mhm.
they just lost their minds and got mutated from the space and everything.
Ooh.
It's really, like I said, really, really cool concept. So what I'm like, the reason the complex is so interesting is because it took the back rooms, made it bigger than it already was, because it's basically like this infinite like storage space. Like you go to like the back rooms of like a department store or something like that.
Mhm.
It's like, or like an office building or whatever. It's just that forever, just that forever, and
It's
it's like
infinite. Just wow.
just infinite liminal space. So, like I said, in some iterations, there's a creature that chases you, like some horror game, like most horror games, has you do whatever.
Mhm.
But the reason the complex was so cool is because there's not a single monster throughout the entire game, but it alludes to the fact that there's something else
Mm.
there in
Yeah,
the space. It just alludes to it always, but it never shows anything. You're just always
I love
expecting
that. Yeah,
something. So it's
except
like
yeah. So
you're
it creates
always on
attention.
edge the
Mm-hmm.
entire time. I'm like, damn, that like God, just
That is so good.
watching someone else play it, I'm just like, oh my God, what is it?
And there's so many games that there was a lot of games in the 2000s, like 2002, like PS2 era that did that. I think one of them was like you were a photographer, you took pictures of like ghosts in a house, and I can't remember what the name of the game was, but you would
Isn't
just
that Phasmophobia. But that
I
game
think so.
came out recently. Not recently, but kind
It
of.
was a 2002 game so it probably shared the same concept. Yeah. And so when you have games like that, that's what really does, like Haunting of Hill House. I don't know if you saw that on
Oh
Netflix,
hell
but
yeah!
yeah, the first
Love
season,
that. Love that.
the first season was so perfect. But the people that made Haunting of Hill House, if you notice, everything they've made so far since has not been as scary. It hasn't been as like the season 2 of Haunting of Hill House wasn't
Well,
great.
it wasn't really season 2. It was a
Well,
new thing. It was a Haunting of Bly Manor.
yeah,
It's still
but
good. It was
Midnight,
good in its own right. Not as good as
mhm,
Hill House, but still
right?
really, really good.
No, I like the story development,
Yeah.
storytelling. But then you had Midnight Club, which was also made by the same
I haven't seen
people,
that. I haven't seen
and
that yet.
it's it's okay.
Well,
Like it's not really that scary. It's
Mike
not.
Flanagan also made Midnight Mass, which is incredible.
No,
Incredible.
Midnight Mass is ass. I'm
What the
sorry.
hell? Why?
That show was so booty. We watched that shit, and after
How
the
did
third
it
episode,
get
I was
bad?
like, it
What?
was just
I
it was just
loved
okay.
that show. Oh
It
my
was
god.
it was
It
okay.
was
I mean,
beautiful.
once you knew that it was just vampires, it was oh shit.
Well, everything
Sorry,
was.
everybody. Guess you're gonna have to put spoilers in that title.
It came out last year, so
But once you realize it was vampires, it just kind of took the whole spook and suspense out of it. I
well,
guess
I
I
mean, we
kind
all
of
kind of knew it was vampires from early on, kind of.
I didn't know. I didn't watch the trailer. I just kind of just started watching
No,
it
I'm
because she
talking
said
about
it
in the
was
show.
whatever.
They kind of allude to the vampire thing throughout the whole thing. At least like a couple episodes in, but like it was just. It wasn't so much that the creature was scary; it was the concept. It was like that religious fanatic thing was terrifying.
Oh yeah,
Because you're getting like all these people who just believe in this priest unquestionably that you're just
yeah,
it's like, oh my god, you can't do anything to stop them because they're not people you can reason with. And
yeah.
I don't want to get political, but you know what the type of people that
But
they're referencing.
yeah, yeah. For me, when I was looking for something scary, I was looking for something that was reasonably like I don't know. It just didn't
No, I get
hit
it.
those
I
strings for
totally
me.
get it. It's
You
totally
know,
that's totally okay. I understand. It's definitely not like a scary, scary show. It's more a show that makes you think about shit.
yeah.
And I
Like
appreciate that as
like when the
well.
protagonist was just like, what do you see as like heaven or hell? And they went on this whole like 15-minute hour monologue, and I was like, what am I watching?
No, I understand. Mick, I just love Mike Flanagan entirely.
Hmm.
I think he's an amazing director. I just watched Ouija, um, the Origin of Evil, the other night with my mom and dad.
Oh,
It was
okay.
okay. It was whatever, but like he always, kitty cat, what is up with you? He always throws in these, themes of not everything is just as it seems. Not everything is just
Yeah,
scary for scary's sake.
yeah,
There's like a
exactly.
meaning behind this shit. And I
Yeah.
love that. I love that about Mike Flanagan. I have not seen Oculus, and I really, really want to. I have not seen that one.
Nah, I
That
haven't
came
seen
out
that one either.
forever ago. I just never got a chance to see it.
No, yeah. And then so with all these horror games coming out, the only one that I'm really looking forward to is Closer Protocol and Dead Space because they've done it. They know the horror genre well.
They
They
really
know what
do.
they're doing. Like I've been streaming it on the channel and I've been shitting my pants every time, and I'm just like, yo, every 5 minutes, like, yo, what? And, I'm always on edge. So like they know what they're doing, and then I don't know. I hope for the best for Silent Hill, but I feel like what Kate just said the other day, he was just like, the fact that they're doing so many at one time and then they're not giving each one a time to shine. They're just kind of like grouping them all
Yeah.
together and like,
And
so it's just like it does.
I still think that like he's not here to shit on me, so
Mhm.
um no, I still think Silent Hill 2 is gonna be the passion project of Konami going forward. Um do I think it's still a cash grab? Sure. It can be a passion project and a cash grab at the same time. The two aren't mutually exclusive. But
Right.
I get what you guys say. Like, they announce all these games right along with each other, and they expect us to be hyped for just one of them or all of them or
And then this movie, which who knows what it's following, what the plot is, what's going
yeah.
on
I
with it.
really hope the movie is better than the actual Silent Hill 2. The first Silent Hill movie, I still will say, is great. I loved that movie. It was perfect Silent Hill. Like it got the
Yeah,
vibe, it got the scares, it got the grotesqueness, got the story, the lore, and everything. It was great.
but
Second movie was
tip.
garbage.
Oh no! Typically, horror movie video games don't do well. They don't,
Hmm.
and,
Especially the early
and
ones.
yeah, and it's really unfortunate because it ends up tarnishing the brand, if anything else. And so if anybody watches the movie and think this is has, they're going to play the game. They're not going to want to play the games.
I was
If they're in both categories.
I rewatched I
So
rewatched Uncharted because my mom and dad wanted to watch it. They're like, "Oh,
oh
this is fun,"
god,
and I'm like, you know what? It's
so
actually a lot. It's
stupid.
actually a lot worse than I thought it was.
I know it was. I
Like,
tried to
okay,
tell you. I
so
couldn't make it through half the movie.
it sets up for a better sequel than the movie was, but like the movie itself is not great. It's just not
No.
because especially and you see it in Sully and Nate's very first interaction. Like Sully doesn't come up to him and say, like, "Hey, your brother told me where to find you. I need your help." No, he like out of the blue doesn't know this kid. This kid doesn't know him. He's just like, "You want to go on a treasure hunt?" It's like, what the fuck? The writing was just so weird.
It was just very
So
weird.
weird.
But it's funny because if they really wanted to do an authentic Uncharted movie, they would have just taken the plot from the game where they met as kids and watched him shoplift. He was like, "Look, I see you got a talent, but you just like on that type of shit." But no, they wanted to.
Like Sully's supposed to be like this, like parental figure, and this one he was just like a partner guy that was with him.
I knew the game. I knew it was going to be ass. I knew it was going to be ass. And then I don't even want to. Don't even get me started. Don't get me started on that shit. It's just going to make me mad.
Yeah, I know what you mean. But
No, I mean it can like video game movies can work. You just kind of have to like anything else, like know what you're doing and doing it the right way. Like a Plague's Tale would be a great movie. It could be a very great
that
movie.
would be very good. I have a feeling that I think that video game properties, if you put them into film, work better as shows than movies. Big blockbusters. I don't think they really work as blockbusters because The Witcher, freaking incredible.
I mean, it is, but we don't know what a Witcher. We don't know what a Witcher movie would have looked like.
That's fair.
I mean, it could have been. It could have been, and it could still be good. Like there's still room for a Witcher movie, of course. And it just depends on how you do it. I mean, if you do,
I forget what it
Last of Us.
conversation.
Last of Us, I'm not really excited for though, because the characters all look ass. Besides two.
Besides Joel.
Besides Joel and Nick Offerman.
Because it's Mando, and Mando can do no wrong. Except for, well, even in Wonder Woman, he was still good. It's just his character was shit.
Joe Pest, yeah, that's his name, right? Joe Pestel.
Not Joel. It's what the hell is his name? Man, what the hell is his name? It's something Pascal. Pascal.
I thought it was Joe Pestel.
No, it's Pedro Pascal.
Petro.
Yeah.
I mean,
He's
at first,
he's an amazing actor. Love that dude.
I mean, at first, I wasn't really crazy about him looking like Joel, but like,
No,
it's not the worst
I
thing.
see it. I mean, I don't like the actress for Ellie. I really don't.
I don't like any of the other actresses
She's a great
besides
actress.
Nick Offerman.
That's the thing. She's a good actress because she was in Game of Thrones and she killed it, and she was even younger than she is now. So I know that her acting chops are going to be great. It's just
Except for she doesn't fit the fucking vibe. Like,
yeah, she just doesn't.
she doesn't look. She doesn't look like an Ellie. She doesn't seem like an Ellie. I was just like, all right, well, it's already ruined. Like, it's already ruined. That's like the money. Like, that's one of the money makers for Last of Us is Ellie. Like, you know, it already ruined half the product. So I'm just like, I'm not watching it. Like, I've seen fan made Last of Us videos way better than what they fucking showed off on HBO, and I'm like, you spent $10 million on each episode to show us
Yeah.
this. To show us this. This is what you spent $10 million an episode on.
Yeah, that's
So what
kind of
is that?
sad.
Was that $100 million show? $100 million show. That's what you had to show. Okay, you guys are fucking up. You know,
You know what I
and
just
like,
thought about? And this is totally off topic. You should stream this on Twitch while I'm streaming on YouTube.
yeah, I probably should. All right, give me a second. No, give me a second.
I don't want that to like really bog down your.
That's true because I'm only at 60 frames because I'm 720, and Twitch might downscale it because Twitch is a bitch.
Well, I mean, it is what it is. Our stream has been in excellent condition since we started, so I'm okay. But either way, no. So bringing it back a little bit, bringing it all back to what we're actually trying to talk about. Resident Evil 4 remake got a trailer and it's dope. It looks cool. They're definitely not doing what they did in the last two remakes. They're really focusing on, making the game smooth and fun. Not so much trying to rewrite the wheel. No,
Right.
Remake the wheel rather. Not so much, completely remaking the game. They're trying to keep the same feel from Resident Evil 4, which I will say is probably one of the best Resident Evil games ever made. Is Resident Evil 4, and that's why this one has so much hype behind it. But like I said, like they're at Resident Evil 4 and we're at Resident Evil 8. So what, are they just going to be remaking Resident Evil 8 here in like 3 years?
I mean, I can't. I don't have any. I honestly don't have any input because I've heard it from different sources. I've heard Resident Evil 4 is great. I've heard Resident Evil 4 is ass. I've heard Resident Evil 4 is mid. Like I've heard every single perception of it. So I don't know because I was never into the Resident Evil series. So I really can't say if it's good or bad or not. But I mean, they're going to have to come up with something new because they're not going to remake Resident Evil 5 and 6. They're too new.
Well,
They're not going to remake Resident Evil 7 and 8. They're too new.
I can see a remake for Resident Evil 5 and 6. But
But those were the worst ones in the series. They wouldn't do
They
that.
were so bad. They were so.
I didn't even play it. I heard about it. It was so bad. I could not stop hearing about it. When we were in high school, could not stop hearing about it, bro.
It was really bad.
It was so bad.
Resident Evil 5, I think, was the worst one because they tried to introduce co-op, and the co-op did not work. Similar to segue Gotham Knights, but we're gonna get there in a little bit because I know we're gonna talk about Gotham Knights for a fucking while.
Yeah.
But between Resident Evil 4 and Silent Hill 2, I am much more excited for Silent Hill 2, even though it's still like a slap in the face to Kojima, and I still don't like that because Kojima is a fucking visionary, and even though like say what you will about Death Stranding, okay, Death Stranding. It was definitely an art house film or art house game. It was made for a certain type of person. And even though like I never played it, I never got the chance to play it. I kind of do want to because
My friends highly recommended it to me.
Yeah,
Like from the friends that I played, they were like, "Yo, play this game.
like
Yeah, get it on the sale if you're not sure about it."
It's an exploration game. It's very slow paced, not a whole lot of combat. The scares are not so scary because it's more sci-fi, but the lore is so goddamn interesting to me. The whole BT thing is so cool. But from what I saw from
apparently like
streams and stuff, the lore is about as confusing as Elden Ring's lore. So I'm over here like, wow, what? And it definitely plays like an anime game for sure. Not trashing the game. I'm just saying it plays kind of like an anime game where like the bulk of the cool moments in the game take place through cutscenes. So it acts like,
Well, from what I've heard, it doesn't function like an anime game. There's more combat like later in the game. It gets more action oriented from what I hear. But my whole thing, especially when it was out, I was a courier for like probably like 2-3 years. So a year and a half, 2 years.
As yourself?
Yeah, exactly. So like, do I want to just like do my job and then come home and do my job in virtual life?
In
You
the
know, it's kind of like
online world with
Sims.
with with ghosts and shit.
Yeah, and it's kind of like Sims, where it's like I just want to come home and do what I can do outside in real life, but at home, like on a virtual computer, you know.
Yeah.
So and then the carrying mechanics, like, oh, you fall, you drive, you gotta pick everything back up again. You got this whole tower of things, and it's just, I was like, you know what? I'm not really in the mood for that. Like, I'm not, I'm not in the mood for that.
I get
You
it.
know, and
I
I
get it.
get that it's real. When trust me, when it first got announced, I was so interested. I was like, yo, let's see some gameplay. And then it was just like, oh well, it's probably not going to be for me. So I mean, it's going to be on PS Plus eventually.
Oh,
So I mean, I'll just get it at that point.
I
Um,
agree. I agree.
and see what happens.
Honestly, I think if it hasn't been on PS Plus yet, it's not going to be unless it's like years down the line, because it only came out like 4 years ago.
Yeah, they still
Like
want to make
that
money on
new of
it.
a game.
Yeah, they still want to make
Um,
money on it. That's fine.
it did heavily remind me of Metal Gear Solid 5: The Phantom Pain, like a lot, in just
Hmm.
the way it played, the cutscenes, all like just the
I mean,
overall
Kojima always leaves
vibes
his
of the
mark.
game.
Yeah, Kojima always leaves his mark on things. I would
He
say,
does. Oh,
you know.
100%. And like I said, the dude is an absolute visionary. So them making Silent Hill without Kojima, like I said yesterday, and this didn't actually make it into the video, but I had a very good, in my opinion, it was a very good point. That Konami making all these Silent Hill games, like reviving the Silent Hill IP, is them showing that they can still be Konami without Kojima.
I
Whether
mean,
that's good or
that's a
bad,
possible. I mean, that's a possible perspective of theirs. But it's also like, yeah, it's stupid. Like, what do you do? Not that's not stupid for you to think that that's what they would think, but that would be stupid for them to think that. Like, why would you? You're
no, not really. I
as
wouldn't
far
say that
as
at
as
all.
far as I mean, as far as I'm concerned, when business gets petty, that's when you fail. So it's just like,
Fair.
why would you want to like
They had a
jeopardize your
huge,
company like that?
they
You
had a
know,
huge falling out with Kojima, and
right?
everybody was on Kojima's side. First of all, Konami should
Hmm.
suck a massive dick,
No, absolutely.
but like, it's not so much. I wouldn't say it's bullshit for them to think that because they own the property. What are they going to do? Just let it die? Like, no. It's a
I
huge
mean, no,
property.
but
Like,
that's like saying, yo, we can make a new Dead Space without,
they
you
did.
know, the
It's
Dead
called
Space
Callisto
creator.
Protocol.
No, no, I'm saying like EA. That's the same thing as EA
Oh.
saying like,
Well,
"Oh,
they
we can
are
make Dead Space without you," and it's just
they
like,
are
no,
making
no,
Dead
no,
Space
no, no.
without
They're
you.
remaking what the mastermind already did. They're
Yeah.
just remaking the outline
Exactly.
and cashing in on
Exactly.
it. But
Exactly.
can they make can they make a successful Dead Space 4?
Is it
I don't think
well?
so.
No, but
I don't think
is
so.
exactly what Konami is doing, where they're remaking the genius that was Kojima in Silent Hill 2
Right.
in the
But that's why we
remake.
were talking about. But that's also why we were talking about the other day that it doesn't feel like a passion project. It just feels like they're trying to
Exactly.
cash in and trying to fill Konami's shoes without understanding what went behind it to make Silent Hill in the first place.
I agree. I agree.
So
And
with
another thing is that the team heading the Silent Hill 2 remake is not a Japanese team.
mm,
So the original game was obviously Kojima, and
right,
it had a very Japanesey feel to it. It had just that vibe. So now it's being made by Bloober Team, who is good. Don't get me wrong, Blue.
Rupert.
I know. They like here. Hold on, I have my notes from yesterday. Bloober Team. It sounds freaking absolutely ridiculous, right? But they made the game Observer. They made Medium. They made Layers of Fear, which is amazing. Layers of Fear is awesome. Observer is an awesome cyberpunk game. Like,
Observer does look dope. I think
did
Observer
you
is on
ever
my
play
wish list to
Observer?
get. I think it's on my wish list to
Oh my
get,
god.
but I never
Well,
got it.
it's oh my god, what the hell is the actor's name in Observer? Because it's one of those games where like the main character is an actual actor that they mocapped and did the voice and everything for.
Yeah,
Observer. Oh my god, what the hell's his name? It's on the tip of my tongue. For those who don't know, it's this guy. Oh, well, wait, can't see
It
that.
is, you might as well just say his name. You can't see that at all. It is so blurry.
That guy. I don't
Better.
remember his name, but uh let me see the Wikipedia page because he's an amazing actor. Like he's been doing a lot, and like goddamn, he's awesome. What the hell is his name? Development Laser Fear. Um, Rutger Hauer. Rutger Hauer. Oh my god. How did I forget his name? God, he's so freaking good. This guy. If you can see him.
You can't see it.
That guy. That guy.
You kind of see it.
He's awesome. He's amazing. He's amazing. He's a Dutch actor. He is an incredible actor. He died in 2019. So,
Ooh,
yeah, well, he was also like 75 years old. So, you know, it is what it is.
that
But
sucks.
he was in Batman Begins. He was in Buffy the Vampire Slayer. He was in The Right. He was in Heineken Kidnapping.
Whoa. Batman Begins. Was he Morgan? No. Never mind. Wrong
He
character.
was. He was not the game. Why would I ever want the Batman Begins game?
Ugh.
Rutger Hauer. He was Richard Earl. He was one of the like CIA
Yes, he
guys.
was the asshole that tried to get Bruce Wayne fired.
Exactly.
Yes, and
Yeah.
he was, and Morgan Freeman. I remember that scene when Morgan Freeman was like, "Yo, I guess I can have your job now, right?" Like,
Yep. Yep.
yo. But he was also Morgan Edge in Smallville. That's what I was thinking of.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's been in DC for a minute. Like he's been floating around. Yeah, he is a great actor.
So he did the mocap. Well, not the mocap. There was no. It was just a first person game. So, but he did the voiceover for this game, and oh my god, it's so good,
It was
so
awesome.
freaking good. So I have faith that they can make, and it was like really, really creepy. Like really, the vibe for that game was, it was like one of those games where you were always on edge. And the
Yeah.
cyberpunk feel, man, all of it was just, wow.
I mean, speaking of something that's been kind of tension on ease, Plague's Tale with rats is very. I There were some disgusting moments in that game.
Can't you
A
control
lot
those
of
rats now or
disgusting
some
moments
shit?
in that game. Huh? What'd you say?
Well, no,
Oh my bad. I know you eating. Hey, you already been acting to Chris Pratt. Just voice Mario.
Here we go. I'm already a better Mario than Chris Pratt. Anyways,
It's Mario.
can't you control rats in that game now or something like that?
Yeah, so you can control the rats, and
Fucking wow.
it's insane. You gotta play the
So
game,
you have
man. It's
superpowers from the plague?
I mean, you gotta play the first game, and you'll understand.
Okay. Fair enough.
But I
Well,
mean
hey,
that game, just everything in that game just is just on the next
you're
level.
finishing
Like this
saying
is
you're just like gushing about it. I get it.
yeah. I mean, I actually did a full review on Steam. I'll send you the fucking. I'll send you the paragraph I wrote.
Oh my god.
But the thing is, like, it's one of those games where you just want to keep playing, until you get to the end.
I get
Like,
it.
it ends with like the next chapter, and
You
the
know
next
what?
chapter's like, yo,
You know what?
what happen
Go
later,
ahead, give your quickie review. I'm gonna go make another drink.
All right. Well, I also want to get another drink.
Well then,
You
you do the quickie
bastard.
review, and then I'll talk about something else.
So yeah, I've been gushing over this game ever since I beat it. I beat it today, this morning, and I played it. I've been playing this since Tuesday. It took me about 23 hours, I would say. And oh my god, if you've played the first game, you already know where the story was and where it ended off. And this game picks it up, and it's just the narrative writing is so good. If you combine that with like the graphical improvements, with the animations of the eyes, the irises, the emotional, compassion, and the emotional sense that you get with these characters when you look at them in their eyes, when you look at Hugo's eyes and you see his wonder and amazement at things, and the voice acting is so good because the way he delivers it's like the voice acting is so good. The way they deliver some of these lines, it's just like you feel the energy that's going on. You feel what's going on. You feel for the characters. You feel what the characters are going through. It's such a great experience. And then like you have the musical score with the violins, and it's just like everything synchronizes on screen perfectly. It's side characters provide so much intrigue and so much to the story in
It
terms
must
of
not be that long of a
utility
game.
and it's about 20 hours. It's not it's like if you power through it, you could probably beat it in a day if you were powering through all the chapters and it's about 20 hours, which I like, but I like that, especially for a story driven game. 20-25 hours, that's fine. And it's funny because I was looking at reviews on Steam about Spider-Man, and somebody was just like, "Oh man, for a casual gamer, 20 to 25 hours is fine." And I'm like, "What the fuck do you want? Like, you want like a 50-hour Spider-Man game? Like, what
Yes,
exactly are
yes,
you
I
looking
do.
for, bro?
Yes, I do.
Like,
So that brings me up. Not totally off topic, but that also reminds me of when the length of God of War Ragnarok got announced, and it's only about like 30 hours. The main story is about 30 hours. Side content's going to take you about 35 to 40 hours.
yeah,
But
that's fine.
that's not including grinding and everything else. I'm like,
Yeah,
the first game was about 60 hours. So, well, the first game, like, God of War 2018.
I mean, I blew through it just because I was just playing it just to play it. I had no interest in playing it, but it was free for PS Plus.
I
So,
did literally. That's one of the few games that I've 100, not 100% because I didn't get all of the armor pieces and upgraded all the armor pieces. I kind of stuck
mhm,
with a couple of different ones and did that. And I also didn't get all the runes. I just got the runes I wanted to. Like I got the Infinity
mhm.
Gauntlet runes, and I was so happy with that. Um, so I didn't 100%. I would say I 90% of it. Like the last 10% is like
Yeah,
bullshit. I got all the collectibles. I got most of the armor pieces. I just didn't buy all the other armor pieces. I haven't upgraded all of
yeah.
them. I upgraded the best one. That was for my playstyle, and that was
Mhm.
it. So I'm not gonna go through and upgrade every single armor piece because that's just
I
dumb.
mean, for me personally, I'm actually replaying the original because I never played the original
Yeah, neither have
or
I.
the original one or two, and I'm having more fun playing those than I was playing the remake. Honestly, it was feels more savage, more bloody, more action packed, and I just honestly like hot take. I like the story of God of War 1 through 6 better than the new story of God of War. Hot take, it's fine. Um, yeah,
Oh,
it just has more purpose. Like you start off as this guy that's just trying to do his job, and then he has to murder his own family and wear the skin of his old family for the rest of his life,
the
and,
ashes.
and do the order by the gods.
That's
Yeah,
the
the
skin. That's the
ashes,
skin. He's not like
the
he's not
ashes.
Leatherface here.
It's still just as dark.
Oh, it is. No, I will
And
say that
then
like the original games were a lot more brutal and heavy
more
and hard
compelling.
hitting, but that's just because Kratos in God of War 2018 is a different guy. Like he's a
Right.
father now. He was a husband. He's grown. He's let his anger go for the most part. So
No, I mean that's fine, and I'm not to say what the part of 2018 I did enjoy was his evolution as a man and as a father. That was
yeah,
that
even
was
as
very
character development for Kratos
yeah
too. I
yeah
mean,
that's
he even has character
very
development through one through three. Like
oh no he does absolutely he does, and then it's funny because the side games are canon, and that's not typical with big franchises, but the side games are canon. The side games he meets his
no,
brother,
that's
he
not true. Most
reunites with
side
his
games are usually
mother.
canon.
You think so? I
Hmm
mean, I know that's kind of true for Kingdom Hearts, but like
Kingdom
for a lot.
Hearts, Assassin's Creed. The only ones that they aren't
I
canon
guess so.
for
Assassin's Creed.
are Far Cry. Those games are not canon. Well, they
The
might
side
be,
games,
or I don't really
yeah.
know because the side games are just like it's just their excuse to just go wacky with it. It's basically like doing a one-off D&D campaign,
Yeah.
like a one-night D&D campaign where you can just make a stupid character and just fucking go off. That's basically what the side games of Far Cry are. So that's basically that's it. But anyways, totally off topic, and this is also off topic. We're not supposed to talk about God of War here. But I mean, it's fine. I don't really care, but I think
Fuck it, why not? It comes out in literally 2 weeks. Who
Dude,
cares?
I'm so hyped.
Yeah,
I can't. But either way, but no, Silent Hill. Taking it back to Silent Hill, which is what we were talking about in the first place. There's like a bunch of other games. Obviously, there's a bunch of other games coming along with Silent Hill 2. There's Silent Hill F or Forte, because like the F is actually like the musical note F, which means Forte. Well, no, like it's the actual, like if you can read music, like that F,
Yeah.
font as Forte in music. So I don't know if that was on purpose, if that's just stylistic differences. Whatever.
They're trying to educate us uneducated people. It's fine.
Yeah, fine. There's Silent Hill Townfall, which is my most anticipated one. Did you watch the trailer for Townfall? Because it was
I kind of
work of art. Like it was.
I mean, I skipped through it. None of them had
That's fair.
gameplay, so I didn't.
Of course, they're not gonna have gameplay. These are announcement trailers, my guy. They're not gonna have.
My guy,
gameplay.
they had a whole show. They had a whole hour showcase that was in the queue for 3 days for Silent Hill, and they didn't show any gameplay.
Announcements. These are announcements.
Well, then put it into
trailers. There are
announcements. Yeah, but then put it into a full company showcase, not a one
Konami
IP show.
Konami hasn't had their own showcase at all.
Bro, if they said, hey, we're going to have a Dragon Ball Z showcase where we just show off Dragon Ball Z games, I'd be like, well, why not just put it in a Bandai Namco showcase and just have it on? Like, I don't know.
Konami is its own entity. They're not part of Bandai Namco.
I'm just saying that. I was just saying that for an example because Bandai. Yeah.
Like Dragon Ball Z is made by them. Whatever. They haven't done anything with Silent Hill since Kojima left. So this is like their big thing, saying, "Hey, these are all coming. This is the future of Silent Hill. Here we go." So these are all just announcement trailers, which is what we usually get in the Game Awards or Summer Game Fest and shit like that. Anyway,
hey, sometimes we get gameplay
for games that were already announced.
No, sometimes no. There was a couple free to play games at the Game Awards that got announced.
That doesn't count.
Of course it counts. They're games.
I'm talking about AAA announcements. Like shit, we got the Starfield announcement. It was the title. We got the freaking Elder Scrolls 6 announcement. It was going over some mountains. The title. We got more.
Here we go. Warhammer games, Devolver Digital games, and there's
indie games. They're talking about indie games.
No, I'm not talking. Warhammer games are not indie games.
I'm not talking about Warhammer. I'm talking about Devolver Digital games are indies. Like,
not all of them.
Yeah, or at the least double A.
And then games come with gameplay trailers on worldwide announcements. It's a thing. They do, and that's what they did it at Gamescom. What are you talking about? They didn't. They did. They did.
They get global announcements. It's just a CGI trailer for that announcement of the game that they're working on.
So Dead Island 2 just got a CGI announcement, right?
Yeah, they did.
No, they didn't. They got gameplay.
They showed like 2 seconds of actual gameplay.
No, they showed at least a minute of gamelay. 60 fucking seconds, bro.
Oh, wait.
They showed gameplay.
I didn't actually watch the ending of that. I just watched it. That's right. I totally forgot that they actually showed some. But anyways.
PlayStation Showcase actually unveiled some new IPs, and they all came with gameplay. Where Winds Meet came with gameplay. Street Fighter 6 came with gameplay.
Okay, that's that doesn't count.
Tekken
to show gameplay because you can't do.
Oh no! You can't say they don't count. You can't. You didn't give any specifications.
Okay, then tell me about Starfield, Elder Scrolls 6, Fable 4. All those.
No, they're pussies. What do you mean? They weren't confident enough to show gameplay yet.
They're huge. The size of the game. It's going to be hard to announce it with gameplay.
How about Atomic Heart and Chernobyl 2?
Atomic Heart did not show gameplay on its announcement.
Yeah, it did.
Not in this announcement. It just
it was
stuff.
It was it was an Xbox showcase. Even
Dude, are you talking about the announcement from like 7 years ago? No, no,
yeah,
no. The original
no,
announcement
it
did not
wasn't
show gameplay. Gameplay came way
actually.
later.
I mean,
Trust me.
not way later.
Way later.
you
Atomic Heart was announced the same time Cyberpunk was announced.
you get worldwide announcements with gameplay. Sometimes you don't,
Rarely.
but
Rarely.
sometimes you do.
Rarely. Anyways, either way, this is them just showing that they are making all these games. But either way, what I'm trying to say is
Terrible.
Silent Hill Townfall is, if you actually watch the trailer, it is absolutely gorgeous. And if this
No,
game has
I mean
anything
it
to do-
is.
You didn't watch. You just said you didn't watch it.
I did. I watched all the trailers.
You said you skimmed through them. That doesn't count.
You say you skim through my videos all the time when I send you stuff. So did you watch it? I was like, yeah, I skimmed through
The
it. I saw part
trailer
of
is
it.
literally
It's
a
like,
minute and 42 seconds. Like, what the fuck? You're gonna skimming through a minute 42-second trailer is watching 3 seconds and passing.
Man,
Like-
seeing seeing a cinematic trailer for 10 seconds of that 42 seconds or that minute and 42 seconds is enough that I need, at least for now.
Either way, the stark contrast in the waves, the gray with like that very vibrant red, was an absolute masterpiece.
No, the cinematic trailers were dope. I will give them that. They know how to show off games cinematically.
Yeah,
but
if that has any reference onto the actual game, I am very excited for that Townfall game. Like, it's going to be cool. The only one that I think I was not like, I did not give a fuck about, and that was the Silent Hill Ascension. Like, it's looking to be like a live service Silent Hill game where the players have a direct impact on how the story unfolds, which is a cool concept, a really cool concept. But it was literally made around the devs liking watching streamers play games and that kind of thing.
Okay.
Is that kind of I'm like, you know what? I don't care. I don't like live service games. I despise live service games.
I typically don't.
I think live service games are the worst type of games in the gaming sphere.
They definitely don't have their fun place. It's a very delicate genre to navigate because you got to learn how to price everything accordingly. So yeah, yeah. That's the thing. Like, I really don't know how to feel about all these Silent Hill games because I mean, here's the thing. Even when CD Projekt Red announced like 6 new games, and they was like, "Yeah, this is what we're going to be doing for like 10, 15 years," and it's just like, "All right, cool." CD Projekt Red.
When did they
announced
that?
They announced that they were working on a unnamed project, a Cyberpunk project, and 2 other Witcher projects.
Oh, 2. Well, yeah, the one's the fucking Gwent game. And I don't fucking care about Gwent. God damn. I don't know
So
how Gwent got so goddamn popular from The Witcher. I don't give a fuck about card games. Like, Jesus Christ.
I mean, hey, blame Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, and all the other ones that were. I mean, you got D&D, you got Magic. You know, you got.
It's not a card game. Excuse you.
I thought it was a board game with cards.
There's no cards at all. Dice.
No.
Dice, not cards.
No.
Cards. It's not a card game.
Don't you like roll the dice and then flip a card? Doesn't that have cards involved?
There's 0 cards in D&D.
Oh, okay.
Zero
Is
cards in
it?
D&D.
Do you play like digital D? Like, do you play computer D&D or is it like real life D&D?
That's what I play. Both of my games, the guys make their own maps and stuff, and like the one guy uses the TGV Foundry, which is a D&D and Pathfinder like server basically, where you can create worlds, create maps. You can upload different player icons and shit like that. So it's like a virtual tabletop essentially, and it's the freaking coolest thing in the world. So freaking dope. And my DM is so dedicated. He makes all these worlds himself. it's insane. I'm like, dude, what the hell? Like,
That is so cool.
he's insane. I love the guy. God. But the other one is a lot more simplistic. He just makes it with a free tabletop thing, and that's fine. I don't mind that at all. Those games are still tons of fun, and I'm trying to. I just broke my character, but anyways. But no, it's not. It's not cards. You create your own character. It's literally a role playing tabletop game. That's literally what it is. You create your own character. You give yourself your own stats. You can do different builds, and you go from there.
Miss, I need you to get off the table, please.
Like, don't get me started on D&D. I will talk about D&D forever because I freaking
We'll talk about it for at least another 5 minutes so I can go get another beer.
All right, cool. D&D, guys. Okay, so I'm going to walk you through my 2 characters. One in Pathfinder 2e, one on D&D 5e. And if you don't know what those are, it's 5th edition and 2nd edition. So Pathfinder was taken from, is basically an offshoot of D&D. People who love D&D, I think 2nd edition? I think it's 2nd or 3rd edition. I think it's 2nd edition. People who loved D&D 2nd edition or 3rd edition, they spun it off and made Pathfinder. So I have one game in Pathfinder 2e that my character is. We're doing a different campaign, a shorter campaign. So where my character is a ranger or an investigator ranger, who's also his race is a elf. He has a beastkin, so he's always in like a hybrid form. Super cool. Love doing that. Still trying to get used to the investigator type because I don't really know how to play as an investigator. I'm still trying to figure that out. My DM told me that I could switch to a investigator archetype, but I kind of like just having the investigator as my main and my ranger as my side, my archetype. I think that's better. The other one, my D&D 5e character is the one I'm most happy about, the one I'm most excited about, and that is he is a tiefling, blood hunter ranger dual class. Absolutely ridiculous. He's got freaking wings, guys, which I might change. I just reworked this guy to give him a little bit more damage output. I made him the Horizon Walker, so at 11th level, I get Distance Strike, which basically allows me to be Nightcrawler and teleport and kill people. That shit's dope as shit. But it's also at 11th level. And that's just annoying. That's really annoying. So I might change that again. I don't know. I might just leave it. I'm really in a conundrum with that character because as much as I want that level, as much as I want the Blood Hunter stuff, because the Blood Hunter stuff is really nice. It gives me a bunch of damage buffs. But at the same time, I don't think I'm getting as much as I could if I just let Blood Hunter go and just went Ranger. In the comments, let me know if I should keep the Blood Hunter Ranger dual class or if I should just go full Ranger and be the damage output of the team, because Rangers put up stupid fucking damage whenever they get on field and whenever they can actually do some damage. Whenever I roll well, because I roll like shit. So, at least I have been. That's the whole reason of me wanting to be a better, damage output. So, I don't know. I'm leaning a lot more towards just doing Ranger. But Blood Hunter sounds so cool. Blood Hunter sounds so dope. Like, oh my god. It just sounds so cool. You can basically use bleed damage and curses as cantrips. Well, it's once per thing, once per long rest. But still, I'm gonna look at the pros and cons of both. I might just drop Blood Hunter altogether and go straight Ranger. Straight Ranger. Maybe with a monk background. Maybe I'll do 2 levels.
Food is so good.
6 levels.
So
5
good.
levels. 4 levels.
So
Bro, you're
good.
on stream.
So good, you have to touch on it.
Yes. So good, makes you want to step and girlfriend titty. You never ring that saying?
We're gonna watch this drama
So
right now.
good.
What you flick my dick?
I'm missing the show.
This dumbass show is not even important.
I don't
Oh, this
think you
motherfucker's
realize
probably got the
he's
IQ
still-
of my
he's
pinky.
still
What do you mean?
on air.
Okay.
Hey, Julian, we're gonna get
If I'm
banned.
inside you later. Don't let me have my funsies with your fun bags.
A fucking menace to society. That's what Julian is. A fucking menace to society.
What's up, kitty cat?
Menace to society.
Woo!
Julian! He's not listening. He can't hear me. I don't want to keep on talking about D&D, but this guy's not hearing me. Turn around, buddy. Turn around, buddy. Turn around, buddy. He can't hear me. Julian. But anyway, so yeah. I don't know what I'm going to do. There's a very good chance I might just drop that Hunter, but either way. I might just start talking about Gotham Knights behind his back, and he won't know. I can say whatever the hell I want about Gotham Knights, about how it's an absolute shit game with really bad frame rate and just really boring combat. Not to mention the freaking traversal abilities, which are unlockable. That shit's stupid. We'll talk about that in a moment as soon as this guy gets moving. Like, what the hell is he doing? Let me text him, see if he gets this.
No, are they fucking or not? You're just sleeping in the bed together. Just asexually. You ain't no smell. You're a fraud.
I think she's black.
You're what?
I mean, I think she's like an ex, but she's not.
He's not answering me.
Of course, they're not going to have all the authentic collection. Sure.
There was one dude, the one dude that's on here,
Nothing.
like a nurse came on. She was like, "Oh, I'm a critical
Can't get
care
him.
nurse," and he was like,
Can't
"I
get him.
was like, who hurt you?"
He's probably a nurse.
Can't get
Probably
this guy.
stuck him in the wrong place at the wrong time.
I don't know what this guy's doing. I mean, I know what he's doing, but I can't see.
Well, at least somebody's fucking tonight, right?
I think most of them probably are.
I really wish he
If
would.
there's a real show for the problem now.
Oh wait, I think
Fuck him up.
I can mute him. I can mute him. Oh my god, I didn't know that shit. All right, that makes it a lot easier. Sorry about that, guys. I don't want this to be. I'm not gonna say I don't want us to get demonetized because shit, we're not monetized at all. So we can't get demonetized if we're not monetized in the first place. But anyways, yeah, Dungeons and Dragons. Yeah, my characters are dope. I really enjoy playing them. My character in my first campaign was a lot better than in my Pathfinder campaign. Hell of a lot better than my current character. He did a lot more damage. He was a swashbuckler. He did panache, and I did the same thing at every turn, and it was just dope. But you know, let me unmute this guy now. Hey,
All right.
bud, you can't be flicking titties on stream.
What happened?
Can't be flicking titties on screen.
Oh. They're cover titties, so what does it matter?
Yeah, well. All right, well, we're going to wrap this up by talking about the atrocity, the absolute disappointment that is Gotham Knights.
Bro. Why'd you should have had that intro because I haven't given my opinion yet.
Exactly. That's why I wanted to open like that.
Bro, this shit is different, bro. I'm not even gonna lie.
Different
And it's not,
just
but it's not,
bad.
but it's not in a bad way though.
Oh,
So
it's a
like,
bad way, I promise.
so the thing is like, the combat is heavy. I would describe it as.
So bulky, sluggish, clunky.
So like pretty much like a transition of like from God of War 1 through 6 to God of War 2018. Like it's like God of War 2018 is slower, but the combat is still heavy but yet satisfying. So like that's how I can describe it. And like you know how in like Gotham Knights you can like drive around and just hit people in the like there's just criminals in the street, right?
Yeah.
You know, so but in this game they're actually civilians in the street. They're cops in the street.
Yeah.
So like you kind of have to like drive more responsibly, I would say, or like it's like they wanted a more grounded, realistic depiction of a superhero game,
Yeah.
and so they went this route as far as combos and as far as traversal is concerned. And so it's not like I'm playing it at probably around like 50 to 60 frames. It does have some stutters, but it for the most part stays between like 50, 55, 60. So it's not terrible. Um, but this game definitely hit. Like I enjoyed the opening. The opening had a really nice cutscene. And it really just kind of sets the tone for the whole game. When I'm playing the game, yes, there are graphical things going on that probably shouldn't be. Such as, rainfall, certain micro details that aren't doing what they need to do.
Yeah.
But for the overall, I like the feel of the game. It's more or less kind of like when it comes to like population density, it's very mid. Where it's like
I
there's like
saw that in a couple streams that like there's like barely any civilians out, and yeah, I get it's nighttime, but still, it's just like there's no.
but
one
it still
out.
feels alive though, because you still have like crimes going on.
Yeah.
You have like certain people. You have police like barricades all over the place, and like if you accidentally run into the police, you might have to fight the police, which is very realistic comic book wise. So it's just like it takes different approaches than the Arkham series did, and I appreciate it, and I actually enjoy playing it. So and it's funny because
So far.
when
So far, you've only had like,
so far, yeah,
an hour into that game.
an hour or 2 hours, yeah, so far. So I started with Tim Drake, and yo man, using that staff is so nice, and that's like when I was playing, I put it on hard, but like there were a couple times where like I died because I forgot this isn't just Arkham. Like I'm not just mash counter. It's more like you have to press it at the right time.
Counter, first of all, that's just despicable in my opinion.
But it does get made up with the dodges. Like the dodges, it does make up for it. I'm not like completely like I don't need free flow combat in order to enjoy a combat game. What I mean? Like
so here's my thing. Like you're talking about how I'm just
no, go ahead.
You're talking about how the combat's heavy, how there's no free flow combat, but then you have and that would work for like a character like Red Hood. Exclusively Red Hood, because all three other characters are extremely, agile characters.
They do feel agile too. Like so like their movement doesn't feel heavy.
No, but I'm talking about the combat, like especially freaking Nightwing. Like this dude is an acrobat. Like that is his entire thing.
Right.
And if you're telling me that the combat is just as heavy as Red Hood, like he's just like this like hulking dude, he's like
no, it's not. No, it's not. So it's not. It's kind of like. So it's kind of like combat for like a Souls-like game, where it's just like it can be even if it is fast and agile, it can just feel as impactful. Like it's not just like it just feels like there's weight behind your attacks. You know what I mean? Where it's just like you're not just sitting there. You don't just do mash 1 second, mash 2 second, mash. It's like you push mash, you wait for the hit to connect, and then you follow with another hit, and then it's not like a hack and slash. Like it's not like
run through
it's more like
are there like light and heavy attacks, or is there just one attack?
So there's one attack, but there's also you have a ranged attack and you have a projectile and you have a charged attack. So you hold the button for the charge attack. You press regular X for your melee attack, and then you can combo.
You press X for your melee?
No, I mean square. Sorry, square.
Okay.
So you press. No, yeah, but you can also change all the controls to anything you want. So you can, combo your lights into your projectiles, your strongs into your projectiles, and then
so your strong attack is literally just holding square to charge up a like heavier attack.
Yeah, and that's good for like shield enemies. That's good for different other kind of enemies. But like I'm playing it on hard, and so like enemies are kind of jumping into attack you, kind of like with the Arkham game.
Just a button masher though. That's all that game is. Then you just have one attack and a range and a projectile, which is the same thing, by the way. I don't know why you said ranged and projectile. Same fucking attack.
Yeah,
But
it's the same, but same attack.
so it's literally just a light attack, a charge attack, which is the same button, and then a ranged
Yeah,
or like an AOE, whatever.
yeah,
And then I
but
know
it's
you also
also
have like those momentum special attacks as well. I know that from watching some
yeah,
gameplay and reviews. But
yeah.
those don't get unlocked. You have to unlock those, right?
Yeah, but you unlock one like right after like the main second mission. You unlock
Fair enough.
one.
Fair enough.
So and then you unlock another one like pretty soon after. So I mean the combat is so I mean you say a button masher, but like Arkham was also a button masher. You press
It
one
was, but it was a
button.
lot more strategic because you had a light, a heavy, you had your gadget, you had your.
You didn't have a light or heavy. You just
You
had
did.
you had the
light
square.
attack, you had light attack. You had your heavy attack.
You had a square.
And then you had your gadget. And you had your counter and a dodge.
No, you had your lights, and then you had your stun attack,
Yeah.
and
your
then that
stun.
was it.
Sorry. You had your light, your stun, and you had your gadget, you had your counter, and a dodge, plus your special attack. So that's 6 different ones that you can, tactically use throughout the battle. Whereas this one, you have a light attack and a charge attack. I'm counting that as fucking 1.
No, you can't count that as fucking
projectile.
1.
Okay, fine. Even if I don't. Light, charge, projectile, special. That's 4. 4. That is a pure button masher. And
That
a
is
dodge. And a dodge.
so that's 5. You got one less than that than Arkham. Like
Again,
I mean,
I'm still counting the light and the charge as 1 because it's still 1 button. The stun was another button, so you
it's still a different move. Just because you use a multi button doesn't make it doesn't make it the same move.
Masher. This is much. Okay, I would even say that Final Fantasy 15 has more combat potential than Gotham Knights, and that game came out 5 years ago.
Come on.
I'm just saying.
Come on.
You have a warp attack. You have a dodge. You have a block. You have a regular attack. You can switch.
But it's like I said, it's not supposed. But it's not supposed to, and that's the thing. It's not supposed to be anything like Arkham. It's a completely different fighting style, different fighting moves.
Okay, though. I mean, you can make it not like Arkham and still make it fun, like good combat. Like this,
it is fun. Like I said, it is fun. You just you literally. It's one of those games where you literally just have to play it yourself.
I mean, that's fair, but at the same time, there's not a chance in hell that I am putting $70 into this game. It
feels good to play when you're dodging around.
Does it feel $70 worth?
Because like it's a perfect dodge. Because you also. Does it feel $70 worth?
Like, would you have actually? I know you didn't pay $70. You paid $60. Would you have paid $70 for this game?
If it ran at 60 FPS, yes, I would.
No. Would you pay $70 for this game?
On PC?
Flat out, would you pay $70 for this game?
On which platform?
Doesn't matter. Would you pay $70 for this game? I'm just saying, would you pay $70?
What about extra $10? Yeah, I'll pay extra $10 for this game. If it was at 60 frames per second.
Because it barely reaches 60 on PC.
No, I mean it's been
it does, but you're also not tracking your FPS. So how?
Because with my eyes, I'm sorry, what?
You cannot track FPS with your eyes. You can see
yes,
dips.
I can.
You can see dips.
I can see dips and stutters,
you can
yes.
see dips and stutters, but you cannot see the max. I'm not like, come on. You don't know if it's like sitting at 50 and just dipping below 50, or if it's actually sitting at 60 and dipping below 60.
Well, I know what 60 frames feels like because I've been PC gaming for like 3 years now, and everything hits at 60. So I know what 60 feels like. I can tell you there are dips. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie and say that.
If I pay $70 for this game, it better be at 60 frames. It better be free flow combat. It better feel fun to play. and not just repetitive bullshit.
Yeah, but free flow combat doesn't always mean fun to play. Like I've played
no,
plenty.
but that makes it a lot more entertaining to play because otherwise you're like
You're only saying that because you're looking at Arkham Asylum as a template.
the Arkham series, the Spider-Man series, the Guardians of the Galaxy game, even Avengers had free flow combat. What the fuck?
Avengers did not have free flow combat.
It had better free flow combat than this game looks like.
Oh no, it does not.
I could bounce between
the combat.
I could
The
bounce
combat in
between
this game
enemies in Avengers fairly easily. This game got a lower rating than Avengers, and Avengers was not a great game.
Yeah, and your point.
That is my point. It got a lower rating than a game that looks worse than this game.
You don't trust critics because critics don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
Dude, it's streamers. It's game ranks. Like, dude.
This is the game that you literally have to buy. You gotta go back to those 1990 days, sack it the fuck up, put out a cost, and see if you take an L or not. That's literally what this game is. Like you just have to.
And I've been saying this for. I said this in yesterday's video.
Every time you buy a game, it's a gamble. Just because you are more confident in the gamble doesn't make it any less of a gamble.
No, most games are like.
No, you're always going to be making a gamble when you buy a game.
Sure thing. Some games are definitely a sure thing. Like God of War 2018 was 100% a sure thing.
Yeah, they thought that about GT7 until they got.
Was a sure thing.
Yeah, they thought about that about Cyberpunk and GT7. Look at what those games that happened.
Was not a sure thing.
Yeah, it was.
No, because
because
it was. We saw more for that game, the less we got hyped for that game.
No, the hype only utterly crashed when the game actually released. Until then, everybody was going.
It's the same, dude.
Like in this game,
the issue with Cyberpunk was the same issue with Anthem. As soon as
but the same thing happened with GT7. GT7, all the interviewers got fake demos because once the game was released, all the microtransactions came out.
That was never a given.
That's one of Sony's flagship exclusives.
Forza would be a given. Forza is usually a great experience no matter what, and they've been consistently
playing great games. Gran Turismo is one of Sony's flagship experiences, especially when it comes to racing. So they're not going. Why would they fuck that up? Why would they do that?
Because they can't.
You say some things are guaranteed, but sometimes companies put out delusions.
For sure. Some games are definitely guaranteed.
Yeah. I will agree with that. I will agree with that.
Spider-Man was a guaranteed win. Guaranteed dub. From inception.
Some people were still skeptical because in some people's eyes, Spider-Man hasn't had the best track record with games. I think he's had one of the most consistent, good Spider-Man franchise video games.
The biggest controversy from Marvel Spider-Man was that his reflection didn't match up with him when he was hanging on a fucking building. That was the biggest goddamn controversy of that game. And there were no puddles. Fuck, that was the biggest controversy. That there were not as many puddles when the game released as when they were showing the game off. Fuck.
Granted, but
Gotham Knights is not a $70 game. This is a $50 experience at most.
Yeah, Gotham Knights wouldn't be the first game that people bought for a game that was $70 that wasn't supposed to be. It's not the first game.
It's 2022. We deserve more. We deserve good games.
See, I was going off it purely off of experience and what I've experienced. I'm not going off of the objective. Hey, it's going to be running at 30 frames. I'm running on 60 frames. I'm talking from a 60 frames perspective.
Okay, dude.
I'm talking about my personal enjoyment.
The performance of the game is not even the biggest gripe with this.
For a lot of people, it is.
Oh, some people it is, for sure. But for others, it's literally everything else about the game. The shitty stealth, which I've seen in streams and Game Range and Jake Baldino talking about, the stealth looks so fucking stupid. It's not the best. Dude with someone looking at you and he doesn't see you. I'm like, that's like Assassin's Creed Odyssey level bullshit stealth. That's just sad. And there's no like actual stealth takedowns like there were in the Arkham games. You can jump down and choke someone out, and that's your stealth takedown. You can't like pull them up from a ledge. There's no ledge takedowns or wall takedowns. That's disappointing. The combat just looks.
This
like
is not an Arkham
I
game
don't care.
for
If
the
it's an Arkham
last
game.
fucking
I don't care.
time.
They had this all that shit in Batman Arkham Origins, but they don't put it in this game. I don't give a
Because
shit
they
if
were
someone
under
says-
Rocksteady. They were under somebody else's helm of creative
I don't care.
gaming.
I don't care.
This is this
I
is what I've been
don't
trying to
care.
say.
I
See, this is
don't
what
care.
this is why nobody can have a civilized conversation about Gotham Knights. Because
No.
everybody has their Arkham blinders on. It's like
No
take them just
shit.
the fuck off and
Because
just play the
we've
fucking
seen-
game.
We've seen what they can do with a Batman style game. And if you're looking at, okay, let's put it this way. Batman Arkham Origins looks 100 times better than Gotham Knights.
I haven't played the game in a long time. I can neither confirm or deny. I don't want to call bullshit on that, but I just can't. So I haven't played in a long time. I don't know. But what I can
be a hot take, but I almost guarantee it looks better. It
Uh,
performs better. The combat's better. The story looks much better.
they were under the helm of somebody else. This is their
They
own
were-
game.
They were only
They were-
published by Rocksteady. They're only published.
So what?
Maybe
They're
we
going to
might-
change. They're going to
maybe
put
we might
Arkham.
all
They're
with
going to.
the
So you think it's a good idea to take a brand new combat mechanic and a brand new combat style and put it in an already established big franchise and release it? Is that what you think? That's what you think is going to make good game developing and
I'm
sales?
saying
That's
that
what you think they're going to
carried
do?
over that same combat mechanic for Gotham Knights because it would have made the game so much better.
They can.
Tell me-
That's not.
yes,
Yes,
they could. Yes, they could. They already did it. It was their intellectual property.
they wanted to have something to step away from the Arkham series.
Okay, you can step away, but still keep that goated combat mechanic. Like absolutely goated combat
No.
mechanic. You
Unfortunately not.
Okay. Then how the fuck? Because they also made, and you can't say they're under fucking Rocksteady. They made Lord of the Rings, Shadow of Mordor, Shadow of War, that both had that same exact free flow combat mechanic. So you can't say
Because-
shit. You can't
because-
say shit.
Creative liberties. Thank
No,
you.
It's the same developer. It was WB Montreal.
Yes, but they also needed to step away from the Arkham. Like you can't.
You can step
Yeah.
away and keep the combat. Keep the combat the same. My
No,
biggest
because-
gripe with watching the shit from this game, the combat looks boring as fuck. It looks
It's not-
so dull.
It's not boring. You just have to play it.
There's one button whenever you're going through, just any combat scenario. One button.
Same thing with Batman Arkham Knight.
No,
Same
you
thing with the
press
Batman
a
Arkham
couple-
series.
press a couple. You got a couple combos to do. This one, you complained about auto comboing, and this game is basically just auto comboing.
It's not auto comboing. You have to actually press buttons in order for combos to connect, or else they won't connect and you'll stop
you
the
just press
combo.
Square. You just combo with square.
That's what you do in the Arkham series. You just press square for combos. That's literally what you do in the Arkham series.
You don't. Because you do the combos with the counters.
No, you press square, and then you beat somebody up, and then you step over to somebody else. You press square, up. Somebody's going to counter, so you counter, and then you go back to pressing square. You just press fucking square. That's all you fucking do. It's the same thing. They just changed it up and made it a little bit slowed down and
And why would you
made it a
make
little
the
bit heavy.
character slow? That's my
It's
question.
not slow as in intensity. It's slow just in delivery. And like I said,
Exactly.
it's hard to explain. It's fun. Like it hits different and it's fun.
See,
you gotta
that's what I
play
said-
it.
That's what I said about Guardians.
You gotta
because
play
you
it.
didn't believe me either. So
this
that's what I said about Guardians. I was
is
saying
so
Guardians-
this will be my Guardians of the Galaxy game. Fuck it. Fine. whatever.
I don't know.
You just gotta play it.
Everything, I will play it at some point. I'm going to wait for Black Friday when it's like 75% off because you know it's going
You know, no, I can't. So I can't defend getting this game on console. I cannot defend it. It's a trash console release on console, not worth the money. But I bought it on PC. I got it at $60, and I'm playing it at 60 fucking frames. So I like the fucking game. You know, so and it sucks because I want to defend this game and say, try it out, but like I did see some 30 FPS gameplay and it didn't look bad. It didn't look too bad, but like I just want the definitive edition. That's just me, and I had the option for it too. So and it's funny because like if it like say I just would have been on PS5 and I didn't have a PC, I probably would have got it anyway, just because like I really wanted to play this game. So it's just it is bullshit. It's fraudulent. It's uncalled for, especially in 2022. I agree with you, but it is what they put out, and it's just like unless you're gonna, they need to get a 60 patch going at some point in order for this game to survive.
Get a 60 patch because I put up a whole video of this on TikTok, and guys, if you want like random nerdy conversations on TikTok, hit me up at Sandsology. I'm gonna try to start posting more. But anyways, some guy commented and they said that the reason they capped it at 60 is because it ran so bad on Xbox Series X, so they just decided to cap it at 60 for.
I heard that,
and I'm like, okay, but the thing is, that's not Xbox's fault. And y'all know me, I'm a Sony fanboy to death. I love my PlayStation. I'll shit on Xbox all day for being the inferior console in certain respects. However, Xbox has so many games that run at a solid 60 FPS without any issue whatsoever. But this game, for whatever reason, performed like garbage on Xbox.
Yeah,
that's not a console thing. That's a you thing. That's a developer thing. Why is it running shit on Xbox? Look into how you develop the game. Figure that shit out. That's not Xbox's fault.
From what I've seen, it said that Xbox Series S was the one that held everything back because of,
S. Don't put it for S. Don't target S. Target X. Like shit. Put a performance mode in your goddamn game. What the fuck? Is it that hard? Every game has a performance mode. Every single fucking game. Ghost of Tsushima had a performance mode. Ghostwire Tokyo had a performance mode. Assassin's Creed Valhalla, even Cyberpunk had a fucking performance mode.
All those are mostly single player games.
This is still a single player game. You can't do online co-op. It's online co-op, but it's with your friends. And it's only 2-player co-op.
Yeah, I mean, they're coming out with that 4-player co-op later.
60 FPS. And that's a much better game than this one.
But here's the thing. We'll never know. We'll never know.
Like they can say, never know. Look at the size, the fucking size of Warzone by itself. That shit runs at a solid 60 FPS every single time I boot that shit up. All right, that was on my PS4.
That's yeah. Look at the development team for that. I mean, what they're developing, but like what they're developing on, not necessarily the development team, but what they're on, what they're going for, what they're optimizing for. It's all different. So like, who knows what engine they're developing on?
I don't care what engine they're developing on. Do better. It's 2022. Your game should be running at top capacity.
But I think they wanted to avoid a cyberpunk situation, so
delay the game. They did it for fucking Suicide Squad. Delay the fucking game. They've done it so much. They actually moved this game up. There's no excuse. Zero excuse.
To some people, but it's like some people were just like, "Hey, we're just not going to get it."
Fucking KJ's watching now. What's up, KJ? How you doing, bud? Yo, here's a king. Chill the fuck out. You sounded whole lot like me. I'm channeling
Go for
my
it.
inner KJ right now.
Go for it. I
Oh my
mean,
god!
here's
I'm
the thing.
sorry. It's just when it
Gotham
came.
Knights hits, bro. Like, I'm not even gonna
I'm
lie. It
sure
hits.
like it will hit for some people. I'm sure it'll be fun for some people. I'm sure it'll be a fun experience, if not like, a top tier experience. I'm sure it's going to be fun in its own rights.
But there's no
I'm
reason to talk to
sure.
anybody with Arkham shades on because you're just not going to get through. It's like, hey,
Okay,
no free flow combat. It's like, all
even if
right,
I
well, there's no free
didn't
flow
have,
combat. No free flow combat. Well, I mean,
even if
there's
I'm
no free flow
not,
combat.
even if I'm not comparing this to Arkham games, right? If I'm not, all right, most superhero games have more entertaining combat than what this looks like. Like even I would say
Green Lantern, Superman, Iron Man, Thor.
What?
4 games where their superhero combat was utterly terrible.
Those are
Iron
movie
Man,
games, and you cannot say shit about movie games because movie
Iron Man
games are
got
already
2 other
shit.
sequels, by the way.
Iron Man did not have two. Iron Man.
Yeah, it
they're
did.
all
It had
movie
it had an Iron 2 game
Okay,
and an
okay,
Iron Man
okay.
3 game.
Okay. I am talking specifically about the latest superhero games that have come out. Okay. Guardians of the Galaxy had fast paced, really enjoyable combat. Avengers had
That combat didn't look enjoyable to me. You were just pew pew pewing all day. That's cool. Pew pew pewing didn't really look that interesting, so I just didn't want
It's
to
a
pew pew
Batman
pew all
game.
day.
Why the fuck would? Yeah.
What is
No,
that?
okay, so KJ is talking, right? He's right. It's a fucking Batman game. Why wouldn't I? It's a Batman game. Why wouldn't you compare it to Batman Arkham Origin or Batman Arkham? It's a Batman game. I get not wanting to compare.
So I'm gonna compare Batman
but
1991. I'm gonna
no.
compare
Okay.
Batman. What was the first movie come out? 1994. I'm gonna compare the Batman 1994 to Batman
Okay.
Begins from 2005. Yeah, they're the same game. Woo!
Okay.
Batman.
Like I said earlier in the stream, WB made several games with very similar combat mechanics because it worked. Because it was goated. They made both of the Shadow games, Shadow of War, Shadow of
So
Mordor.
what? People can't be experimental now?
No.
You're being elitist about how people develop games?
They can
Well,
be
fuck you,
experimental,
Patrick.
but don't be experimental with a combat mechanic works and people love. Especially in a franchise that people are going to be very extremely critical about. All right?
Well, that's people's fault. Sounds like a
It's
personal
not
problem.
people's fault.
Yeah, it is. Why would you compare it to a Batman game? Because you got Batman Arkham Saves on. That's what you do. It's a people problem.
I'm just reading all of KJ's stuff. He's like, keep Cyberpunk out of your fucking mouth, Jules. Cyberpunk is a fun game. Cyberpunk is a fun game. It just is.
I think Gotham Knights is a fun game. It just is.
Like I said, I'm sure it's fun in its own rights, but it's not what it should be.
What is that for you to decide? You're not the creative director behind the IP. Who's that for you to decide? Oh, it's not what it should be. Well, maybe it is what it is. You just don't fucking like it.
You do realize what we're all going to be comparing this game to, and it's going to be Suicide Squad. If Suicide Squad kills this game, it's not going to be surprising.
Well, then you're stupid. They're 2 different games. They're 2 different developers doing 2 different things.
The style of game, basically the same. 2, yes, it's 2 different developers. I give you the developers.
How do you know the style is going to be the same?
Bro, look at the
gameplay. You saw a minute of gameplay.
It doesn't matter. Look at the gameplay. Look at the style of game.
What do you mean? How do you know it's going to be the same? You saw literally a minute less than that of gameplay. How do you know it's going to be the same? You don't.
From KJ, LMAO, imagine defending this much for mid-game. Have fun, king to each their own, LOL. This game is mid. It's just mid. It just is. Like,
okay.
You can enjoy it, but it's still extremely mid. And it's not 2022 worthy.
What is 2022 worthy? You're making these statements. What is 2022 worthy?
2022 worthy, if you're talking about, the standard for AAA games in 2022. All right?
Oh man, well I see. What's up? What's on your mind, sir?
Dude, what? Okay, go ahead. Tell me what's this? What would you consider the standard for games in 2022?
Well, see, here's the thing: the standard for games of 2022 for a Switch is different from the standard of games for
Bro, we're not
2022 for
talking about the fucking
PS5.
Switch. We're talking about PC and consoles. Not Switch. Fuck Switch. Why did you bring Switch into this conversation? You brought Switch into this conversation.
Because we're just talking about
So-
you're talking about this overarching standard, and it's just like, well, what does that mean? Like that's different for different consoles.
God of War in a month, bitch. From KJ. Sorry, bud.
Okay, that's fine. That's in a month. That's what we're talking about right now.
You're being so toxic about this game, dude. It's a mid game. Even you can't admit that it's not a mid game.
I wouldn't say it's a mid game. I say it's a fine game.
That's mid. Mid just means fine. Mid is
I
just
played
fine.
it for an
It's
hour.
just fine. Keep the
I'm
Switch
not gonna-
out your fucking mouth, ho, from KJ.
What'd you say?
Keep the Switch out your fucking mouth.
Nah, bro. Nah, bro.
You can't
What's the
bring up
standard? What's the
Switch to give yourself
standard?
an easy
What's the
go.
standard
No,
for
that's
2022 for a Switch? 30 frames per second.
The
Mm-hmm.
standard would be anything from the standard would be fucking Legend of Zelda. Breath of the Wild. That is the standard for the best Switch game. If no game beats Breath of the Wild, then it's not going to be better. No. So the standard. So the standard.
You just condemned
for
so many
PS5
people.
Okay.
You just got so many people fired, Patrick. How could you?
That's fine. If we're talking about the standard for PS5, this okay. If you're going to talk like base level, what a game should play or perform like, I would say Ghostwire Tokyo. That would be the basis. It should be better than that.
Oh man, because it's funny because 60 frames has been the standard for PC for like 10 plus years.
Okay. Then
So
tell me why
what's
this
the
game's better than
standard
60.
for a video game? This is what I'm saying. Like it's different for different platforms. You can't say there's an
Okay, then
overall
tell me why this
arcing
game
standard.
barely hit 60 on the PC. Tell me why.
I can't tell you. I wasn't there. I didn't develop the game. Everybody's trying to come up with some kind of fact that explains it. But like,
defend this game when it performs like shit. The combat's not goated at all.
I'm actually not.
It's a step down from every other property they've ever made. It's a step down.
I'm actually not defending it. I'm just giving realistic reasons to give them a break. I didn't know that was goading or note writing or.
It's 2022, and we should demand more from our devs. We should demand the best every single time because otherwise, then everyone giving CDPR a pass for Cyberpunk.
That's the thing. That's what I'm saying. I'm not passing the performance.
You
I'm not.
Fucking are.
No, I'm talking about the game. I'm talking about the game aside from. I'm talking about the game aside from the performance. I'm talking about my fucking experience. I just said my experience. It's cool.
A slide, just because you're having fun with it, when it's obviously a step down from every other game they've ever made.
No, it is I just said it's deplorable that they released a 30 frames like rate or whatever. I'm talking about beside the performance. I'm talking about the actual game, gameplay. That's what I'm talking about.
It's still a step down from every other game.
And like, I can't even speak on it fully because I've only played it for 2 hours. So that's what I'm trying to say. You're like coming down. It's like I can't even fully defend it.
Because I can't. Needs to, okay.
All right, well that's fine. I can't fully defend it. I haven't played it long enough.
It's the same reason that I came down hella hard on Anthem. Same reason I came down.
And that turned out to be a really fun game too.
No, it's fun for a little bit, but there's no content. Okay, that's it. Gameplay is the best thing about Anthem, but we're not getting into that conversation.
That's what I'm saying. It's fun.
I am saying specifically about Gotham Knights compared to all of their other games that WB Montreal's ever made. This is a huge step down for being their latest game.
Let me get like 5 hours in. Let me get like 5 to 10 hours in, and then we can re-examine this conversation.
And then you can also tell me why Batgirl's traversal special that you have to unlock, and that's one of the late game unlocks. Oh, we got KJ. Hold up. You're on speaker, bro. What's up? Go for it.
All right, bet. This is if this was God of War and it was a AAA release, you would be giving us so much shit. All because this is your AAA release, you're defending it. Shut up, be a man of morals, and be a man of principle. If this was any other AAA, you would be dogging it, and you know it. Okay,
No, I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't. Because when God of War comes out, I'm gonna let you have it. When God of War comes out, see, I knew 2 years ago that we were going to be gushing over God of War for like 2 or 3 episodes. So I don't mind. I really don't care. You guys can have it. It's whatever, And I will say this game has disappointed. It's been a very disappointing release. Very disappointing release. But I haven't played it long enough to know if story-wise it's okay or if it's going to do more combat-wise. Right now, combat is satisfying. It's very fun. I can say that I can describe it as heavy. I can describe it the best way I can, but you're just going to have to play it.
What? The combat stays at that level throughout the entire game, supposedly, according to like every streamer and game reviewer person that I've seen. The combat starts off like a lot of fun. It doesn't get better. It just plateaus from the very beginning of the game.
So it starts as a lot of fun and plateaus as a lot of fun. That means it's going to be fun.
It doesn't improve. The game starts off like, oh, this combat's really cool. By the end of the game, like, oh my god, this combat is amazing. But no, it just stays like, oh, this combat's okay. Oh, there goes my camera. But I'll say this as my last piece of I am shitting on this game because this game deserves to be shat on. As soon as I change my camera. Oh. Hold on. Waiting for it. Waiting for it. Hold up. I'm glitching out. Hold on a second. Whenever I switch cameras in the middle of my thing, it does this. I don't know why, but it does. Hold tight, hold tight, hold tight. I'm still here. Switching cameras apparently is like toxic for my computer. I'm not really sure why. Why is it not working? Hello? Why is it not working now? What the heck happened? Ugh.
Okay.
I'm here. I'm here. I'm here. I'm here. I'm here. I'm here.
I hear you.
I'm here. You can see me now too.
I'm just wondering why Nick Lachey is on a dating show.
Hey, Jules.
Will any of those things change the way you feel?
Sorry, guys. I don't know why that did that. My shit does that sometimes. I don't know why. As soon as I drop my camera, it just... Yeah, I don't know why that happens. But anyways, last thing I'll say. Last thing I say because I got to get to my D&D game. The fact that Batgirl's main traversal thing is a freaking glide where she just unfurls her cape, and that's an unlockable. That's just stupid. So I'm like, you can say whatever you want about the performance, you can say whatever you want about the combat, but like that, along with some of the other, traversal specials shit that is like you have to grind for. That's another thing. A grind fest is never a good time. Fucking hate that. Despise that. Ugh.
It's like every RPG.
It shouldn't be an RPG. This is 100%. Like even Batman Arkham wasn't an RPG. It was an action adventure game.
Yeah, but if you want to platinum it, you had to find 300 Riddler trophies.
That's not an RPG, and that is a grind fest, and a lot of people complained about that. Like that was the biggest complaint. All right, but the biggest complaint wasn't the unlocked abilities of Batman. One of the complaints about this game is the unlocked abilities of all the superheroes, because you get bored with one character, then you have to grind the shit out of the other characters to get them up to the same level to continue playing the game. That's just bad. That's just bad. But like I said, you said, you haven't played the game that much. You're 2 hours in. You just have first impressions of the game. That might change as you play the game. I have a feeling that you're just gonna be, you're gonna like the game in spite of us at this point.
No. If it generally just not become fun, I will say it did not become fun, or like I lost my interest or whatever. I would definitely say that. Well, don't worry.
Well, anyways, that was the last thing I'm saying. I gotta get out to my game. Guys, what do you think about this? We have 3 viewers right now. Hi, how you guys doing? This was like toxic for the last 45 minutes of this stream, and I'm okay with it. It was just aggressive. And
it's fine.
That's the beauty of this channel. We get aggressive sometimes, and
the proper gaming talk show is anything but proper, and I love it.
Oh, it really is. That's the reason we call it proper, guys. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Let us know all your thoughts, comments, everything in the comment section below. This game will be going up as a regular video as soon as this is done processing. So whenever you watch this, let us know in the comments what you think about anything we talked about, whether it's Resident Evil 4, Silent Hill 2, Gotham Knights. We also talked about a ton of other shit in the last 2 hours, almost 2 hours, hour 45 minutes. So yeah, let us know all your thoughts down in the comment section below. Also, guys, we will 100% be coming back with a regular video next week. I'll make sure I get my settings, check my settings at least, because that was some bullshit yesterday. But anyways.
I got to piss KJ off because he wasn't man enough to come on the stream himself and defend his point.
Technically, he did, but he's also out doing shit. So
he had to go out and do shit, so he couldn't be able to defend his point.
He had to go work. What the hell?
Oh, sorry. It sucks to suck, KJ, my buddy, man. It sucks to suck.
Jules is about to catch so many hands.
Maybe be here next time, bro. Maybe be here next time, bro. You can defend yourself and say your piece.
I love how you're saying this when he's specifically not on stream. You're about to catch so much
shit. You can send this to him as a personal message. I am the motherfucker. I don't care. But that's just how it is.
JayDubbs. Guys,
and that's why I'm the menace.
We'll see you next Friday with the next Proper Gaming Talk Show. Also, guys, if you have any ideas for a new thumbnail template, let me know, because I'm kind of stuck with that. Anyways, guys, thank you so much. Stay excellent. We'll see you guys in the next video next week. Peace.
What up?
Fuck Gotham Knights. Bye.